And welcome to the All-Valley Scholastic Football Show, where we honor the Valley's athletes for their work not only on the athletic field, but also for their work in the classroom. Hi, I'm Marty Briggs, and this is the 25th year for honoring the select team. And to be eligible, a student must be a senior, earn a letter in football, and have a 3-year grade of average of 90 or better in his academic courses. 54 athletes representing 18 high schools are on this year's team. 31 of these students received honorable mention or were named to their all-district team. And as you can see, this is certainly a select group. And without further ado, let's move to our very first guest. He is Rolando Rubiano of St. Joseph Academy, who carries a grade point average of 90.0. Thanks for being with us today, Rolando. And a very successful year, wasn't it, for the St. Joseph football team?
Well, it was good. It had its ups and downs. We had a 5-5 season. We were able to go all the way to the semifinals. We did good.
And of course, the semifinals, you got to play up in Dallas, so that was a road trip for you guys, and that must have been fun.
It was fun, but our main purpose was to go win a game, and we didn't.
Wasn't meant to be, but of course next year you always have that. Also, in addition to your football activities, you also participate in track. You're involved with the Student Council, and you are also a member of the Junior National Honor Society. Tell us about your future plans.
Well, hopefully, I plan to attend the United States Naval Academy, and from there on serve my country. But I plan to major in civil engineering if all goes well.
Well, congratulations to you. Good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Rolando Rubiano of St. Joseph Academy. All right, to my right is Jaime Ferrero, and something very unusual about Jaime is that he is graduating high school in just 3 years. Tell me how you do that, Jaime.
I accomplished this by earning high school credit when I took a course in government and family living. It's a self-correspondence course through the mail sent by the University of Texas. I also earned 2 more high school credits by attending school in the summer.
Now, is this something you've always wanted to do, to graduate in 3 years?
Yes, sir. It made me feel better.
All right, what do you plan to do in the future?
I plan to go into sports medicine and major in athletic training.
Now, you were also involved with the football team at Porter High School, and this year they actually showed a little bit of life. You got off to a quick start. What did you think about this season?
It was a growing season for the Porter Cowboys with the new coaching staff and everything, and I think it's very good. As an individual, I think I had a fair season.
All right, Jaime Perez from Porter High School, thanks for joining us today. Good luck in the future.
Thank you.
All right, we'll turn our attention back over to my left. John Silva of San Benito High School. He also has a grade point average of 90.0. And John, what about the San Benito Greyhounds this year? Tell everybody a little bit about the season you guys had.
We had a pretty fair season. We had our ups and downs, and we finished 4-6, but throughout the year we improved mentally and physically, and we just contributed. Hopefully we'll contribute to the following juniors that are coming up.
You know, throughout the Valley, Tommy Roberts is very well respected as being a great football coach. What are your impressions of Tommy Roberts?
He's a great guy off the field and on the field. He's great to get along with. He enjoys other activities such as fishing, hunting. Just a great guy, great man.
Tell me about some of your extracurricular activities. What do you like to do away from the football field?
Away from the football field, I like to go fishing a lot, like Coach Roberts does, and I like to spend time with my friends.
Now, you're also involved, I see, with a thespian group, so you're interested in acting. Is that a sideline for you?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to do something with that in the future?
Hopefully. Not undecided yet.
Maybe Hollywood, a future Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah.
All right, what about the future plans? Where would you like to go to school?
I plan on going to North Texas State and majoring in psychiatry, become a psychiatrist. And also I've been nominated to go to the Naval Academy in Indianapolis. Also, maybe also West Point.
All right, tough choice, but it looks like North Texas?
Yes, maybe.
All right, John Silva of San Benito, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right, back over here to my right, Archie Munoz of Donna High School. And of course, a grade point average of 90.0 as well. Tell me, Archie, recently, Ricky White of Donna, the football coach, he suddenly resigned. Was that a shock to you players?
Oh, yes, sir, it was a shock. We came back from Christmas holidays, and we weren't expecting it. We found out Tuesday that he resigned, and we're just all stunned. He's a good coach. We hoped that he would have stayed longer.
Everybody thought very highly of him, but we're probably a little bit disappointed in the record, 1-9 this year.
Yes, sir.
But as everybody seems to think, you played much better than that 1-9 record would indicate.
Yes, sir. The scores don't indicate anything. It's just how you play the game. And we started off doing real good in the beginning, and then just things didn't work out for us.
Now, you're a member of the National Honor Society. Tell me what's the key to being good on the athletic field, also good in the classroom?
Just getting well with your teachers, pay attention in class, and just do your homework, study.
All right, you plan to go to McMurray College in Abilene next year, and what would you like to study?
I like to study mathematics.
Mathematics. Yes, going to be a mathematician?
Yes,
going
sir.
to teach then?
Yes, sir.
All right. Archie Munoz, Adana High School. Thanks for being with us, Archie.
Thanks, sir.
All right, back over here is Raul Guajardo of Ed Calchelsa High School. He's got a grade point average of 90.03. And I noticed something right away. You were an all-district honorable mention place kicker. Tell me, what's the key to being a good kicker?
Practice hard, stay after practice, and kick those extra points.
And maybe a little ice water in the veins, that
Yeah.
helps? What about the year Ed Calchelsa had? You had a new coach in Robert Vela, and what kind of impact did he have on the squad?
Well, it wasn't really that much. He was there the year before, so we were used to him. He was okay.
And what kind of season did you have as far as Ed Calchelsa was concerned? I know you went to the playoffs. You got to feel good about that.
It was exciting going to the playoffs. We had a pretty good year.
And of course, you lose to Uvalde in the playoffs, but just by a point. And you got to feel a little bit disappointed that it just came up that 1 point short.
Yeah, it's happened like that for the past 2 years where we just come out a bit short.
Must be frustrating, but tell me, what are some of the things you like to do in your free time?
I like to play basketball at home or fishing.
And what are your future plans?
Plan to attend Pan Am and then transfer to UTSA.
What are you going to study?
Aerospace engineering.
Wow. What would you like to do? Work for NASA someday? Or?
I hope to be a pilot.
Be a pilot.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, Raul, thanks for being with us today. Raul Guajardo of Ed Calchelsa High School. Now back over to Luigi Cristiano of St. Joseph Academy. You carry a grade point average of 90.0 or 90.12. And tell me about the year that St. Joseph Academy had. It was a fairly good one, and you've got to feel good about the year that you put together.
Well, our record wasn't too good compared to the rest of the years, but we had a great season. We had a lot of fun. We enjoyed playing the games, and everybody on the football team was friends, so there was no controversy there. So it was very enjoyable playing with everybody.
Now, I also see you play football. You're into swimming, track, and basketball. What's the favorite sport?
Football.
Football. Why do you like football so much?
Well, that's the only real sport that I'm good at.
Well, you're not a good basketball player? Not a good swimmer?
Not really.
Not really. Well, at least you're honest about that. Next year, you'd like to go to the University of Texas at Austin. What do you plan to study?
Probably business.
Why business? Why does that interest you? Money, right?
Money, but I don't know. It's the only real job that I think I find interesting.
What do you like to do in your spare time? Or does sports keep you busy all the time?
I like going out with my friends and playing sports with them, basketball or football, just different things with them.
All right, Luigi, good luck to you. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, back to my left, it's Scott Robles of PSJA. He carries a grade point average of 90.16. Now, let me ask you about football season you had, because you had a new coach this year, Gil Garza, coming over from Ed Calchelsa. What kind of influence did he have on the Bears this year?
Well, he really turned us around. You know, we had to learn a lot of new things, and, you know, he helped us a lot. He changed everything.
Yeah, now one thing I liked about what Gil did this season is immediately he changed the uniforms. Now, I know that might have added a little psychological boost. What do you think about that, or am I just being silly here?
It was great, the uniforms, they'd been used for the past 2 years, and he came around, everything was new. Socks, shoes, even helmets, it was great.
You look for better things in the coming years from PSJA?
Yeah.
Well, what do you plan on doing when your high school career is all said and done with?
Well, I'm really undecided, but, I'll probably go into the Armed Forces first and then transfer to the University of Texas in Austin, major in business.
Now, why would you want to go into the military first? Tell me about that.
I don't know. My dad wants me to, and then, I'm really undecided.
Well, good luck to you in the future. Scott Robles, the PSJA. Thanks for being with us, Scott.
Thank you.
All right. Now we'll go back over to Santiago Coronado of Ed Calchelsa High School. He carries a grade point average of 90.23, and you plan to attend TSTI next year. Tell me why the decision to go to TSTI.
Well, I think it's closer to home, and I wanna get a degree in automotive technology.
So what would you like to do with that in the future? Work on cars and...
Yeah, I would like to open my shop and own shop.
Give me your favorite car. What's your favorite car out on the road right now? If you could have one, what would it be?
Probably a Fiero.
A Fiero.
Yes.
All right. Let me ask you, when you leave Edcouch Elsa High School, what kind of memories are you going to take with you?
Well, probably the last game we had. We had a won and we lost.
All right. I also noticed that you were honorable mention and first team All-District. Honorable mention last year, first team All-District this year. What kind of feeling is it to be voted or picked as one of the best?
Well, it's a great feeling because, I mean, if you put a lot of work into it, you'll accomplish whatever you want.
And what position did you play?
Defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle. So you got in on a lot of tackles then, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, Santiago, thanks for being with us today. Santiago Coronado of Edcouch Elsa High School. All right, we now turn our attention to Tim Holmesley of the Marine Military Academy in Harlingen. Boy, you've got a lot of things to be proud of. You were on the superintendent's list. I take it that's very close to the dean's list.
That's above the dean's list.
Yeah, the dean's list, it's above it. So what does that mean to get on the superintendent's list? What do you have to do?
You have to have a 3.5 grade point average or better.
I see. And you carry a grade point average of 90.33, so that would even out, I guess, to about a 3.5. You're also in the Civil Air Patrol. Tell me a little bit about that organization.
Well, I'm not in the Civil Air Patrol anymore. I was for a little while. And that is just sort of a search and rescue thing, Air Force Auxiliary kind of deal.
Also the Junior ROTC. What's that program like?
Well, my school, it's a pretty tough program. I've been in it for the past 4 years.
Now, have you got any interest in aviation? Is this why we're in the Civil Air Patrol? Would you like to be a pilot, or what about your future plans?
Well, my whole family is really pilots, but I don't think I'll go that way.
But you are planning to go to the military academy next year?
Yes.
And why the decision to go there?
Well, I've always wanted to go there. I've always wanted to be in the military, and I think it's an honorable thing to serve my country, so...
Let me ask you something. To be at the Marine Military Academy, does it take a lot of discipline? Can anybody just go do it, or do you have to be a special individual?
Well, I don't want to say that I'm a special individual or anything, but I think it does take a special person because it's really hard, especially at first, mentally and physically. We have almost no free time.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, I was hoping you weren't going to ask me, what do you do on your free time? 'Cause I don't have any. It's that, you know, it's pretty hard. I think when I go back to a public school or something like that, it's kind of really weird for me because everything's so different.
Yeah, all right. Well, Tim, thanks for coming by. Good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
Tim Holmesley, Marine Military Academy, and we'll go to a schoolmate and teammate of his, Casey Moore, also of the Marine Military Academy. You've earned 3 letters. You've got a grade point average of 90.33. And tell me what this is, the 1988 Commandant of Cadets Award?
Well, it's a military JRTC award for the top junior student at the Marine Military Academy. It consists of, earning physical achievements and academic achievements.
I also noticed you won the Football Most Improved Award for the 1987 season. For what position did you earn that award?
Strong safety, sir.
Strong safety. Now, this year, it was special for Marine Military Academy because you got to play Harlingen for the first time in many, many years. Tell me about that experience, although you came up on the short end.
Well, sir, as the game before, I was playing Mercedes, and I hurt my knee. They taped it back up, and I went back in. I hurt again and re-injured it, so I didn't get the Harlingen game, but I was there.
But it must have been a thrill for the entire squad and the academy.
Oh, yes, sir, it was.
What are your future plans? I noticed it says here you'd like to go to the University of Pennsylvania. Is that still where you plan to go?
Yes, sir. I'd like to go to Wharton School of Business and study investments and securities.
And then what would you like to do after the college career?
Be a millionaire by 25.
Millionaire by 25. And how do you plan to do that, real quick?
A lot of hard work.
That'll work out. Casey Moore of the Marine Military Academy. And we'll go back over to my left. Matt Santo of the Marine Military Academy is here. He carries a grade point average of 90.33. He also is a winner of the Cadet of the Month. What do you have to do to be the Cadet of the Month?
Well, basically, you're just the most promising junior, or first-year cadet at the academy, and they look at your military performance, how you started out quickly with your grades, and said...
Now, you also won 6 letters while you were there, and I noticed you've got a very interesting thing on your card. You're also a champion inter-battalion boxing tournament winner, so you're a boxer as well.
Yes, I am. I've got a varsity letter in boxing, and then every year we have an inter-battalion competition, which the entire school student body is a battalion, and they split it up into 5 companies, and the companies compete in military and athletic events, and every year somebody wins it, and they get to carry a gold flag to prove they won it. And one of my favorites, of course, is the inter-battalion boxing competition.
Now, how did you get involved in boxing? I mean, that's not for everybody.
I was just a rough and tumble kid when I got there in the first place, so they said, you want to get in a fight, put gloves on and fight right.
Now, let me ask you something. Do you plan to do this for a living at all, or any dreams at all of a professional career?
I'll say I'm more realistic. I'd rather get a degree and do something that a lot of people have done before and know that I can do well.
All right. Next year you plan to go to Rice University and be an L. And would you consider moving on with your athletic career, or is this it for you?
Well, I'm going to try it, but it's not going to be something that's going to break my heart if I don't get in.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us, Matt Sanders of the Marine Military Academy. That's going to close out our first segment here of the All-Valley Scholastic Sports Show. Let's take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. That we need to honor, and we'll start right away by going to my left and talking with Reed Moore of Port Isabel High School. He carries a grade point average of 90.41. Also quite a few academic honors, including a word processing award, so that tells me that you have an interest in computers.
Yes, I do.
And do you like to play with those things in your spare time, video games, that kind of thing?
I use my brothers.
And what would you like to do in the future? Would you go into the computer field?
No, I don't think so.
Really? What do you plan to do?
I'm still pretty much undecided right now.
All right. Well, we'll talk about the successful year that Port Isabel had in football. It was a good year, wasn't it?
It was our best year we've had so far.
It must feel good to be playing for a perennial winner like the Tarpons all the time.
Very good, you know, because there's a lot expected out of us every year.
And every year you guys produce.
Yes, we do.
All right. Reed Moore at Port Isabel High School. Best of luck to you in the future. Thanks for being here today. We'll turn to my right now, and Bill Cadena of St. Joseph Academy. He carries a grade point average of 90.42. He's earned 3 letters in football. You also got football honorable mention honors in 1987. Tell me what that feels like to be chosen as perhaps one of the best.
Well, it's a good honor. I feel honored to be chosen, but I think on top of that, it's just a good feeling.
Also, you're a member of the National Honor Society, so that's a select academic group. Same kind of feeling?
A little different. It's more of an academic feeling.
How do you balance athletics and the books? What's the key?
Managing your time.
Managing your time. What are your future plans? I notice you want to go to Texas A&M.
Yes, I plan to go into engineering.
What kind of engineering?
Probably chemical engineering.
Chemical engineering. All right. Bill Cadena of St. Joseph Academy. Thanks for being with us. All right. Gabriel Valdez of Progresso High School. He has a 90.56 grade point average. Tell me about some of the extracurricular activities you're in. I noticed that you're in the National Honor Society, Student Council, Boy State Delegate. That must take a lot of your time.
It does, but I managed to keep it close together.
Now, how do you manage the extracurricular activities with the athletics? Both extracurricular activities, but one's academic, one's athletic. How do you balance them?
Well, I try to go through, I don't know, just sort of get my athletics in one period and try to do my extracurricular in another.
Progresso High School, a fairly successful year on the gridiron this year, wasn't it?
I felt we could have done better, but I guess pretty decent.
And what was the final record?
4-5.
4-5. But you surprised a lot of people, very competitive throughout.
Yes,
future plans, you plan to go to the University of Texas at Austin. And what would you like to study?
I'd like to study medicine.
Medicine, a future doctor. All right, Gabriel Valdez of Progresso High School. Thanks for being here. We'll move along to Steve Winters of Edinburgh High School. Steve, you have a grade point average of 90.94. Another good year for Edinburgh High School, but probably a little disappointing the way it ended up.
Well, we're a little disappointed, and, well, being on a team that's good, it helps us to be, you know, we have a lot of pride as a team, and it just, you know, makes a better character, you know, your character's better and just a better all around.
Now, you lost at the end of the year to Harlingen in what's got to be one of the most heartbreaking ways to lose. The field goal with no time left on the clock. That's a tough way to lose a season, isn't it?
Well, that was a tough one. We're going to remember that for the rest of our life, for sure, definitely.
Steve Alanese, former Edinburgh Bobcat football player, played for Notre Dame, the national champions on Monday. Do you ever look at him and maybe look up to him for what he's accomplished and the things he's done?
Oh, of course, you know, going to a big college like that and, you know, sticking in it, you know, the whole time, even though, you know, he wasn't starting the whole time, you know, that was a big accomplishment.
Sure was. Future plans for you, Steve Winters?
Well, I'd like to be a banker, and my dad's a banker, so I'm trying to go to SMU.
SMU and major in finance.
Yes, sir.
All right, Steve, good luck to you. Thanks for being here today. Charlie Prado of La Feria High School is here now. He has a grade point average of 91.0. As well as football, you were also on the varsity track team. What do you like better, track or football?
Well, this year was my first year playing football, and I guess it's football now. It changed.
Really? And what position did you play?
I played split end.
Split end. Now, how did you get interested in football or get started in football evidently relatively late in your high school career?
Yes, sir. The coach just wanted me to play and talked me into it.
Any great receptions this year that stick out in your mind?
Hidalgo game, 2 good long passes.
Any touchdowns?
Yes.
All right. Future plans, University of Texas at Austin?
Yeah, I plan to major in architecture and minor in probably physical education.
Really? Now that's an interesting major minor there. How did you come up with that combination?
I have no idea.
All right. Charlie Prado, thanks for being with us. Good luck to you. All right, we'll turn our attention to Eloy Alanis at Weslaco High School. He has a grade point average of 91.0. You were involved with varsity baseball, varsity football, and it seems like you were awful successful in the year that you played football.
Yes, I've had a great season, great year in football, and hope to continue it in baseball, and I'm just proud of my season.
Now, I noticed that in the future you're looking at Notre Dame or the University of Texas. What's the choice going to be? You know?
Well, I've applied to both, and I'm just awaiting the response. So.
Where would you like to go?
I would like to go to Notre Dame.
What would you like to major in?
Chemical engineering.
Baseball. How does Weslaco stack up as far as baseball for this season?
Well, we have a young team, and if we all stick together, we should be very successful. And we're trying to, right at this point, we're trying to fix our field. You know, about the incident, about the no stadium.
Sure, sure.
So we just hope we have a baseball field.
That would be nice. It would make things a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, it would.
All right, Eloy Alanis, thanks for being here, Eloy.
Thank you.
Ray Vasquez of Mercedes High School joins us now. He's got a grade point average of 91.06. It looks like you play just about every sport there is, football, track, basketball. What do you like best?
Track. I stand on track more. I love the run.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you get to run it all with the Mercedes football team?
Yes, I did on quite a few plays.
Mm-hmm. Mercedes, you can't discount the fabulous year they've had. It was really quite successful, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. We were very successful to the point where winning the season, and because we had a particular reason that we had a strong coaching staff, and at the end it wasn't our turn.
Next year, Pan American University, you plan to major in business. What would you like to do after college?
After college, I'm not too sure. Probably get a secure job somewhere, and management or something like that.
Stay in the Valley?
Practically.
Okay. Ray Vasquez and Mercedes, thanks for being here, Ray. Leo Don Science. No, you don't want to be called Leo Don. Is it just Leo?
No, that's fine.
Leo Don, all right. Tell us about some of the academic societies you were involved with, pre-law society, the senior class parliamentarian. That must take a lot of your time.
It does, but it takes time to manage both sports and those things.
Now, what did you play in football this year?
I played center.
Center, really? Now, I look at you, you don't strike me as being a real big guy. How was it that you were stuck playing right in the middle of the line?
Well, you just got to take heart to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that something you've always wanted to do? Because, I mean, let's be honest, the offensive line, it gets no respect.
Well, that's the way it's been. I've played line all my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Ed Couchelsa, a very good year. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Next year, you plan to go to Rice University. You're going to be an owl. What are you going to major in?
Business management.
And what would you like to do after school?
I'm undecided right now.
Are you going to play football?
No.
They need a center. They lost one this year. Not for you. Okay, Leo Science of Ed Couchelsa, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, David Torres of La Feria joins us now. He's got a grade point average of 91.33. Tell me about some of the sports honors you've gotten in your career. It says you're a quarterback and you were all-district for both years, 87 and 88.
Yes, sir. I had a couple injuries that held me back a little bit, so it didn't come out the way I expected. I had a good offensive line that helped me, too.
Tell me, what does it take to be a good quarterback?
A lot of self-discipline. You gotta be able to take control of the team and about it, a lot of character.
I notice one of your academic honors is a state qualifier for what? What did you qualify in, or what is that?
It's an FFA chapter conducting. It was parliamentary procedures.
All right. Well, next year you plan to go to the University of Texas San Antonio. Why UTSA?
Visited the school. It's a nice campus, fairly new.
And you plan to major in?
Criminal justice and eventually law. Going to law.
Very good. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. David Torres, Silver Ferry High School. Over here to my right is Art Requenas of Sherryland High School. All right, we've got to ask you about the season. You told me not to bring up the Port Isabel game, so I won't. But other than that, it was another great year for Sherryland, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
What was the final record?
9-2.
9-2. You went 9-1 heading into the playoffs. And how did the playoff game go?
We played bad. We played bad, real bad.
Well, that's saying it simply, but who was it now you were
Hebronville.
Hebronville. And you had beaten them earlier in the year, the very first game. So that must have been just a little bit disappointing to lose to a team you had already beaten.
Yeah, by the same score, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what are your future plans?
Go either to Harvard or UT.
Harvard or UT. Now, what's the final decision going to be?
If I get accepted to Harvard, I go to Harvard. If I don't, I go to UT.
I see. And what are you going to major in?
Economics or business, something like that.
And what would you like to do after the college days?
Make a lot of money.
Make a lot of money. There you go. That seems to be a real popular one. All right, Art, thanks for being here today. Good luck to you in the future. Now, Felix Garza of Edinburgh High School is here. He's got a grade point average of 91.47. You play varsity football. You're involved with track. You're also a member of the National Honor Society. This is a question I've been asking a lot of guys, but how do you balance the books and the athletics at the same time?
Well, I just put one and one together and just go right at it. I guess just like I spend some time on one side and then I spend time on the other side. And it comes out pretty well balanced.
You know, Edinburgh High School's got one of the premier football programs here in the entire valley. As a little kid, did you dream of growing up and playing for the Bobcats?
Yeah, I've always had that dream.
And what is it like to finally reach that goal?
Well, it's like successful. I was successful at it. I accomplished something that I wanted to do when I was a kid. Now that I'm older.
Next year, you plan to go to Texas A&M. What do you like to? What do you plan to major in?
I want to get out a doctoral degree, a veterinarian.
Like to be a doctor of medicine.
Yeah.
You must love animals.
Yeah, a lot.
All right. Thanks for being here, Felix Garza of Edinburgh High School. And finally, we'll wrap up this session with Felix Izaguirre of St. Joseph Academy. I hope I got that last name right. Did we get it right this time?
Yes, but my first name is Mark.
What did I call you?
Felix.
I did, didn't I? Okay. Mark Izaguirre. I've been so worried about the last name, I forgot about the first. You've got a lot of academic honors to your credit. Honor roll, who's who, the presidential classroom. What's the presidential classroom?
The presidential classroom is a group of students sent to Washington every year from different high schools across the country. We go and we investigate different aspects of government, meet with public officials, and things of that sort.
Now, do you have an interest in politics, government, that kind of thing?
Yes. I'm thinking of majoring in international relations when I go to college.
What are you going to remember most about St. Joseph Academy when you leave there?
The thing I remember the most is just, since we're a small school and everyone knows each other, just that sense of, that feeling of belonging to, you know, that camaraderie and that spirit. And just that everyone's real together and united and happy and everything.
Next year, the University of Texas at Austin?
Yeah.
All right. Mark, we wish you the best of luck.
All right.
Thanks for being here. We'll be right back after this short break. Some of the top scholar athletes from here in the Valley of this past season. We'll start to my left once again, introduce you to Hector Guerra of PSJA. He's got a grade point average of 90.69. Tell me, Hector, you were first-team All-District linebacker this past year, which is impressive unto itself, but also very impressive list of academic honors, including who's who among American high school students. How do you get into that?
Get into it?
Yeah, how did they select you?
They send you a letter, and you mail stuff back to them, information about you, and I don't know, you're just in.
Yeah, now that must make you feel good to be among a select group to get into something like that.
Very good.
Does it make you feel as good to get the academic honors as opposed to the athletic honors?
It's about the same, I guess.
What are your future plans? I notice you want to go to Texas A&M. What do you plan to major in?
Hopefully medicine.
Medicine. You're also very interested in math, so it goes kind of hand in hand. I assume you want to be a doctor.
Right.
Any kind of specialty?
Probably a veterinarian.
Veterinarian, so you must like animals.
Yes.
All right, thanks for being here. Hector Guerra of PSJA. We'll turn our attention to Tom Lee of Mission High School, a 91.72 grade point average. Tom, you had a successful year and a successful career at Mission High School. Tell me what you've learned as you've played for the last couple of years for Rusty Dowling and company.
Just basically that he wants us to win, and he wants us to be the best that we can be, both in the classroom, and that's why we, as a school, didn't have many people miss and not fail. So he makes us feel, you know, that we're good.
And a fun guy to play for.
Oh,
too.
yes. Oh, yes.
Now, you also have the honor of being one of the most highly recruited athletes down here in the Valley this season. Tell me about the recruiting process. Is it fun? Is it hectic? What about it?
It's really fun. You don't really, like, I haven't done my homework you know, you're just excited and be taking trips in the next 4 or 5 weeks, and I'm really looking forward to playing football for another 4, maybe 5 years for somebody, and it's really exciting.
I look at the choices, the schools you'll visit: Kansas State, Rice, Texas Tech, Lamar, Iowa State. Who's the front runner? You have one?
Hopefully Kansas State or Texas Tech. I'm really looking for those two to maybe go to.
And of course, if you went to Kansas State, you'd be reunited with Frank Hernandez and one of your former coaches at Mission.
Yes.
Good luck to you, Tom. Thanks for being here today.
All right.
All right, we'll turn our attention to Martin Conde of Santa Rosa High School. He's got a grade point average of 92.0. Tell me about some of the academic awards you've gotten. You're in the National Honor Society, as many of our athletes are. Also a member of the Key Club. It must keep you awful busy.
Yes, sir.
How do you balance the time between the athletics and the academic side?
Well, whenever you have the spare time, you just get to it.
All right, Santa Rosa High School. Last year, as we know, a surprise team. They win a lot of games. This year, you kind of fall. Was that a big disappointment to all the guys?
It was a very big disappointment because we didn't play to our potential. We could have played a lot better.
And does that leave you with a bad feeling, or are you going to take fond memories with you when you leave Santa Rosa?
Oh, bad feeling.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, what are your future plans? I see you want to go to UTSA, and what would you like to major in?
In accounting.
Really? So you're going to be an accountant and then come back to the Valley, or who knows?
Who knows?
Really? All right, Martin Conde of Santa Rosa, thanks for being here today. All right. Andy Saldana of Progreso High School joins us now. He's got a grade point average of 92.680. You All-District 32-3 honorable mention center, so you played on the offensive line.
Yes, sir, I did.
Now, is it really true the offensive line gets no respect? That's what they tell me.
Well, they try to. They try to give us more respect now, but things are changing, yeah.
Now, they say the center position is like the quarterback of the offensive line. Is that true? You got to sit there and call out the formations?
You do have, well, you don't call out formations, but you do have more responsibility.
I noticed one of your academic honors is the superior honor roll. What does the superior honor roll mean as compared to just the honor roll?
Well, superior honor roll is I guess, higher grades, straight A's.
And next year you plan to go to Brigham Young?
Not right away, but that's where I'm planning on going.
All right, and what would you like to major in?
Electronics.
All right, Andy Saldana of Progreso, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, Joseph Lopez of San Isidro is with us. He's got a grade point average of 93.02. What about the football year San Isidro High School had this season? 2 years ago they were in the playoffs. How did you finish this year?
Well, it was a big disappointment. We were picked to win the district, and we kind of stumbled in our first 2 district games, so it put us back into 3rd place. You know, we had a good year, but it was disappointing.
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask about you and the season you had. It's a little bit different. Could you tell us about it?
Well, through the beginning of the first 2 weeks of the season, I was diagnosed with acute monocytic leukemia, and I've been in and out of the hospital this past 4 months. And it's been hard, but I have a wonderful family and coach. The school's been behind me, great community, and without them, I wouldn't really be here today.
Let me ask you something, Joseph. Do you feel that your involvement with athletics has sort of helped you deal with this a little bit more?
Definitely, definitely.
In a way, you're almost competing against this disease, aren't you?
That's right.
Well, you certainly are an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and tell us about your future plans. Where would you like to go go to school?
I have no definite plans yet. I like to pursue something in the business field, accounting maybe. So.
All right, Joseph, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Nolan Perez of Port Isabel High School is here. He's got a 93.17 grade point average. You're in 5 letters in your high school career. What sports were you involved in?
Well, mostly football, baseball. I've also been in cross country, and this year I'm going to be in track.
We all know about the successful football programs Port Isabel has, but what about the track and baseball programs? Are they equally as successful?
Well, last year we won district in baseball. And our track's been pretty good, but we haven't been able to come up with a district championship. Hopefully we want to change that this year.
I notice you've won a geometry award, a physical science award, a chemistry award. Certainly that must be where your interests lie.
Yeah.
And what would you like to do, study at the University of Texas?
Well, I want to be a pre-med major and hopefully become an optometrist in medical school.
All right, very good. Nolan Perez of Port Isabel, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Michael Bruce Croswell of Harlingen is with us now. He's got a 93.5 grade point average. Besides football, you also play baseball. You're a shortstop. You've lettered 3 years now?
Right.
What do you like better, baseball or football?
Both sports have different qualities. I just enjoy the activity and keeping in shape. I can't pick a favorite.
This year, you're also in the National Honor Society in a group called STAND. Tell me about STAND.
STAND is, it stands for Students Take Action, Not Drugs. This encourages students to relieve their peer pressure and to be free of drugs.
All right, it must be a very worthwhile thing to do.
Very,
involved
yes.
in. Next year, you plan to go to Stephen F. Austin, major in business?
Yes, I would like to go there with some other considerations.
Uh-huh, and what would you like to do after college?
Well, I would like to play baseball. I really like baseball.
Professional career, maybe?
Administration, business administration.
I see. All right, well, good luck to you, Michael Bruce Croswell of Harlingen. Thanks for being here. Dino Esparza of St. Joseph Academy, a 93.472 grade point average. You've earned 4 letters in your time at St. Joseph, and the thing I remember, beginning of the year, maybe even the first game, the long interception return against, what opponent was that?
Santa Rosa.
And I'm sure you remember it quite well.
Yeah, I think it was play of the week. I'm sure it was play of the week.
All right. As a matter of fact, it was the Channel 5 play of the week. That must have made your whole season to be the Channel 5 play of the week, right?
Well, my season kind of went downhill from there, but it was all right.
At least you had that one moment in the sun. Also a member of the National Honor Society. You're also a captain of the St. Joseph football team. What kind of responsibilities come with being a captain?
Well, with my team this year, it was like there were so many seniors on the team that all of us were really captains, so I didn't have much of a responsibility, but just showing up to practice and, you know, showing the guys what I could do.
Next year, the University of Texas at Austin, what will your major be?
Business.
Business. All right. Good luck to you. Dino Esparza, St. Joseph Academy. Now we turn our attention to Marcus Garza of La Feria. You are an honor roll student with a grade point average of 93.56. What kind of year did La Feria have in football?
Well, gradually we've expelled higher. We've been in the low ranks the last couple of years, except last year and this year, and we've seemed to have risen very highly.
Yeah, now you're a competitive program, certainly.
Right.
Mike Wisdom, the coach out there?
Right.
What kind of guy is he?
Tough.
Really?
He's very demanding, very great coach. He wants us to do our best out there and always be the best we can be.
But it must make you feel good. You are building for a stronger future. That must be nice.
Right. He's hoping to make leaders out there and hopefully bring those younger guys up in the coming future.
Now, you're also going to go to the University of Texas at Austin next year. What will you major in?
I'm planning to enroll for the medical degree and as a pharmacist.
Really?
Right.
All right. Well, Marcus, thanks for being here. Good luck to you in the future.
Okay.
All righty. Bobby Solis of Edinburgh High School is here. He's got a 93.58 grade point average. One of your academic honors is that you were a winner of excellence in English and science. Tell me, would you like to ever be a writer sometime?
No, well, I like writing a little bit, but no, I wouldn't like to be a writer.
What do you plan to do in the future?
I plan to either go into a medical field or into biology, something like that.
So you do have an interest in science where you are also an award winner.
Mm-hmm, yes.
What about the football season? Everything you thought it would be this year, or Maybe a little less? Or?
A little less. I thought we'd have a much better season. I don't think we played to our full potential.
And would you like to play in the future, maybe in college, or is your career over?
I'm looking at a few small colleges to go. I really don't know.
Kind of undecided right now?
Kind of undecided.
All right, Bobby Solis of Edinburgh, thanks for being here. Good luck to you. Juan Rodriguez of Santa Rosa High School is here. He carries a 93.69 grade point average. You plan to go to Texas A&M and major in electronics. Tell me why you're interested in electronics.
Mainly because my brother is in electronics and he says it's pretty good, so I'm kind of interested in it.
Now, does it take a really intelligent person to work with electronics? It seems very technical.
Well, yeah, it really is, but my brother, he was very slow in school, but since he got into electronics, he's done pretty good.
Now, is you linebacker for Santa Rosa?
Yes.
Well, you're not a very big guy. How'd you play linebacker?
Well, basically, I started out as fullback, but when I hurt my hand, the Coach Lopez decided to switch me to linebacker because I had played outside linebacker before.
All right. Well, Juan, thanks for being here. Good luck to you in the future. All righty. And Joey Garza of PSJA finishes up this segment. He's got a 94.05 grade point average. Besides football, you were also in track and a lot of extracurricular activities on the academic side. How many exactly?
Well, it's about 4 or 5, I guess.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
What do you like better, the academic extracurriculars or the athletic?
Well, football and track were fun, but I really focus myself on my academics now. You know, now that everything's over. I'm not going to get back in track this year.
Was it a good year for PSJA? Did you like playing for Gil Garza?
It was fun. You know, he's a good coach. You know, he really pushes us. You know, ran us a lot. It was fun, and you know, it was kind of disappointing. You know, we expected a lot more, and so did he. And you know, but the people supported us, and you know, we tried our best. And that's about it. Next year, Baylor University, and you. Pre-med program, so you're planning to be a doctor as well? Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
A lot of doctors. Any kind of specialty?
Yes, I'd like to be a neonatologist.
A what?
A neonatologist.
Now, what is that? Tell me what that is.
It's a doctor who works with premature babies, you know. He's a specialist.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
All right, Joey, thanks for being here today. We'll come back after these words. Stay with us. Scholastic Sports Show. Once again, we'll get right into it and talk first of all with Cleo Longoria of San Benito High School. He carries a 94.1 grade point average. He earns 2 letters in football, I assume. They were both in football. Also a host of academic honors, including the Chemistry Club and the Testing Awards. Boy, it sounds like you've got a lot of academic work ahead of you or behind you or whatever you do.
Sure. Well, I plan to attend UT Austin.
A major engineer. Really? Engineer like the plane kind of thing. Well, just what about the Tommy Roberts at San Benito? Rewarding time for you?
It was real rewarding. He's a good coach, and he's done a lot to turn the program around.
And you'll carry a lot of fond memories with you.
Yes, sir. You know, rebuilding for the underclassmen.
And you've done a good job of that.
I hope so.
All right. Good luck to you in the future, Cleo. Thanks for being with us today. Now to my right is Michael Garza of La Feria High School. You are 10%. Obviously, you've secret of balancing books and...
Yes, sir.
And you carry a grade point average of 94.13. Tell me, what is the secret to balancing both the books and academics, or athletics?
Just staying hard, being up grades, and trying to be the best you can.
And next year, you plan to go to the University of Texas. What would you like to major in?
I'm undecided right now. I plan to mainly go into physics and science.
What to do after that? Teach, possibly?
Teach, at least.
So, sounds like you've got a lot of studying ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
Any plans to carry on with the athletics?
Well, I'm hoping I'd have a chance to go into baseball, things like that. I'm too short for football as of right now, so. But anything else besides that?
Very good. Well, Michael, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for being with us today.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Jaime Trevino of Edinburgh High School is here now, a 94.27 grade point average. Varsity football, JV track. What other sports? Any other sports?
Track ball.
Like
ball.
When did you? And what event?
Basic 100 yards, 200 yards.
English, those
Science.
Really?
I plan on to A&M and majoring in aerospace engineering.
Also in space engineering. Is this something you've always wanted to do? You've always been fascinated by?
I've always been fascinated with airplanes and flight, and particularly the space program also.
Really? So now, would you like to go into the space program when you're done?
Yes.
Rather than, say, commercial aviation or something like that?
Hopefully, maybe in a company that deals with that sort of thing, you know, with the making of the parts, like for the space program. things like that.
Sounds very interesting. Jaime, thanks for being here today. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Leo Alvarez of Porter High School, 94.8 grade point average. Played football, basketball, and baseball. You're involved with basketball, I assume, right now, then?
I had an injury on my legs and couldn't attend basketball this season.
All right. What about the football season you had this year? Was really a surprise for some people. Nobody expected Porter to be as competitive as they were, so it must have been for you to know those differences.
Yes, I played in most of, every game, you know. As far as I'm concerned for the team, they're rebuilding the program, and I feel that they're going to be real positive later on in the future with a good program, you know, and they all feel good about it.
Got off to the quick start at the beginning of the year. You might think going on here.
Well, a lot of people started believing in us, and we had a lot, and we ourselves started believing that we could, you know, turn everything around, and we did that in the first few games, and later on, we were just not playing together, and that's where we got hurt.
You have a future in physical education and math, I see.
And yes, I also like physical education, mathematics, and I plan to attend the University of Texas.
In Austin?
In Austin.
Why UT Austin?
Well, I guess I like to meet a lot of people also, and I guess that's a perfect place to meet a lot of people.
Great place, great place. Leo Alvarez, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, Nick Ramos of San Ysidro is here. He's got a 95.05 grade point average. 4 letters, including all-district tight end honors. If he can want this year.
Have the year we predict a record. Doesn't record show really where it was or other than that.
So the 4 in June, something any time?
Well, no, really, you just have to say once you have, and everything just starts coming into place.
Also a student council president and UIL president. You plan to go to Texas A&M?
Well, at this time, Texas A&M or Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. What's it going to be? You have a preference?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. So far you're national champs. Why not? Nick, thanks for being here today. Good luck to you in the future. Garth Finnegan. I almost called you James. Sorry about it. That's just what it says on the card. Football this year, very successful for Harlingen, and a lot of people credited you with a lot of that success. What do you feel about that?
Well, it was a team effort. I had a lot of support from the line and the backs and everything, and the coaches did a really good job of getting me prepared for quarterback this year since this is my first year.
Yeah, now you had a 95.6 grade point average, but as well as the academic side, you got the dubious honor of being considered the most recruited athlete here in the Valley for this year. What's the recruiting process like?
It's a lot of fun. It's a hectic. You know, you get a lot of phone calls at home and a lot of coaches coming into school looking at you, and it takes away from schoolwork a lot, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun.
Now, I hate to sound almost negative, but a lot of people would say, hey, the kid's only started at quarterback 1 year. How come he's being so highly recruited? Tell us why.
The reason that I see is the fact that I've got a lot of potential to develop, and I have, you know, I've only played 1 year, and I had a good season, and hopefully, you know, that just, my potential's there, and the coaches are willing to take a chance on my potential.
You can run and throw, and that helps too. You're going to visit Clemson, Nebraska, Tulane, with maybe Clemson the front runner. We don't want to give anything away, but
right now it is, because they came in and recruited me really heavily, and they did a real strong and efficient job of recruiting me, and I'm impressed with them. But I'm also impressed with Nebraska. So right now I'm undecided.
Any future plans as far as the major goes?
Probably either pre-med or go into business.
Great. Well, Garth, thanks for being here. Good luck to you, bud. All right, Paul Chavez of Edcouch-Elsa High School joins us now, a 95.84 grade point average. Tell us about the year Edcouch-Elsa had. It was awful strong, another playoff trip, but ended just a bit short, didn't it?
Yeah, it ended a bit short. We're down by a touchdown in the last couple of seconds, and made a touchdown, and all we needed to do was tie it, and we'd advance. And unfortunately, it was a bad snap.
That is a tough way to lose it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You know, especially if you're a senior and you're looking forward for one more game in the season and it doesn't come through.
I know you're in the National Honor Society. You're also in the Pre-Law Society. Any plans on being a lawyer, perhaps?
No, that's my area. I think is really into math, engineering.
And that's what you like to be, engineer?
Aerospace engineer.
Aerospace engineer. So once again, you're going to be designing airplanes or space parts or something.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right. Texas A&M is where you're going to be going to school next year?
That's what it looks like right now. I've been accepted into that field, aerospace engineering. So.
All right. Well, Paul, we wish you the best of luck. Good luck. Thank you. Rolando Rojas of Ed Cal Chelsea teammates. Were your teammates for years? That must be and bonding with some helps camaraderie. Does helps. Yes, you've experienced a lot of success over the years.
Pretty much so, yeah.
What are you going to learn from that or take with you when you leave high school?
Probably never let yourself be put down by anyone and just do the best you can.
Keep working hard.
Keep working hard.
You're a biology award winner. Must have an interest in the sciences. So you're going to attend Pan Am next year, and what would you like to major in?
I'd like to major in physical education.
And then perhaps be a coach one day?
Probably, yeah.
Any inspirations as far as coaches go? Who influenced you? Or
the person who influenced me much, I think, is Coach Gutierrez.
And what is he, defensive coach or offensive coach?
Line.
Offensive line coach. So you're an offensive lineman this past year. All right, Rolando, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for being here. Patrick Rodriguez of St. Joseph's Academy is here. He carries a 96.20 grade point average. You play football, but basketball as well. How's your season going?
It's going okay. We're coming around. We started off the year real well, but we had kind of a slow period in between.
National Honor Society, didn't mean to interrupt you, but a National Honor Society member as well. So just about everybody in this room has done a good job of balancing the books and the athletics as well.
You know, I think it just takes a lot of discipline. You know, discipline yourself to, you know, make the time for study and football.
And you plan to go back east for your college choice, either North Carolina or Duke. Do you know which one it's going to be?
Well, if I get accepted to Duke, I'll go. It just depends. I visited both campuses, and Duke was really pretty. I really liked it.
And they got the #1 basketball team right now.
Go teach Danny Ferry some moves.
That's right, that's right. Thanks for being with us, Patrick.
Thank you.
All right, to my right, Jesus A. Solis Jr. of Rio Grande City, 96.7 grade point average. That must mean you haven't gotten too many B's or C's in your high school career.
No, sir. Very few.
Just about straight A's?
Yes, sir.
How much time do you spend studying in a day?
Well, I spend about 2.5 hours maybe after school, and that's about it.
A lot of hard work involved with that?
Yes, sir.
All right, you plan to go to Texas A&M? What would you like to major in?
I plan to major in biochemistry, something in the chemistry field.
Wow, and would you like to go into research after that?
Well, maybe. It depends. Maybe pharmacy or something.
All right. Well, Jesus, thanks for being here today. Good luck to you in the future.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Joe Flanagan of Mission High School, 96.909 grade point average. You played baseball 3 years, football 2 years. What do you like best?
Well, I guess I'm a little more successful in baseball, but I've always loved the intensity of football. I mean, I play catcher in baseball too, so there's a lot of hitting involved. So that's what I like.
All right, so that must mean you team with Biddy Garza at linebacker spot, and then you're also his catcher during baseball season.
Yes, sir. Best friends also.
Yeah, you two guys work together real well. Ranked second in your class of over 500 students. That must mean you really hit the books hard.
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline. I mean, it's a lot of discipline to say, people say discipline is just going home and opening your books. I mean, the discipline is going home and opening them and keeping them open for 2.5 hours, 3 hours after your hard workout. It takes a lot of work.
I can imagine.
Definitely.
Going to major in pre-med at either Duke, Notre Dame, Stanford, or Dartmouth. Those are some heavyweight choices, and you're leaning toward one of them, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I'm leaning towards Duke right now. I love the basketball team, and the atmosphere up there is just, it's great. It's intense. That's what I like.
So a future doctor then?
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, Joe Flanagan of Mission. Good luck. Thanks for being here. And then James Vaughn of Weslaco High School finishes it up for us today. A 98.0 grade point average. You have the highest grade point average of all these select athletes. Plus, you were a first-team All-State linebacker. Tell me, what's
All-State,
All-District.
I wish I was All-State.
Yeah, don't we all? I even wish I was All-State. But tell us, what is the key to being good at both academics and athletics?
I think you just, basically, most people here said it. You've got to go home and after a hard workout during the day, and you've just got to get in the books and do it. Most people, a lot of football players get the stereotype of being stupid, and I don't think it's that they're stupid. I think they're just lazy because they don't, they don't take books home every day. You don't have to have homework to go study, even though I don't always study when I don't have homework. But
a good year for Weslaco as far as football is concerned.
Yep.
Another good one.
Yep.
Even without the fact you weren't playing with the home field.
Yeah, the home field advantage didn't really bother us because, Donna's close anyway, but we were just going to play football games. And we really weren't expected to do what we did, but it was an exciting season. We finished off, we thought,
better than we started. So
Next year, UT, and what do you plan to major in?
Business or finance, I'm really kind of undecided, but somewhere in the business field, work with money.
All right. James, good job. Thanks for being with us today. That will do it for this year's edition of the All-Valley Scholastic Sports Show. We'd like to thank our athletes for joining us today, and we'd like to thank you. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next year.
KRGV-TV was proud to present the All-Valley Scholastic Sports Show, honoring Valley High School students who have excelled both scholastically and athletically.